All right, hello everybody, and welcome. It is Sunday morning, 11:20 a.m., 29th of March, 2026. So for Western Christians out there, good morning, Jack, brother Jack Dawson. For Western Christians out there, so for Catholics and Protestants, this is Palm Sunday for you. I'm an Orthodox, Eastern Orthodox Christian, so we call Easter Pascha, which was Pascha, which was its original name. So depending upon how the calendars fall, we're not always on the same day. So next week for you is Easter if you're a Western Christian. So that's Catholics or any church that came out of the Protestant Reformation, which includes non-denominationals. And for Orthodox, next Sunday is our Palm Sunday. So anyhow, may you have a blessed Palm Sunday, and we should continue to pray for world peace and for the unity of the faith. All right, great, great. And there's Nathaniel. He says, "Good morning," with an exclamation point. All right, so lots to go over here today. And we've got our This Week in Sim Baseball Gaming and comments about comments. And we're going to have a look at Payoff Pitch Baseball. And had to do a little bit of mucking around here to figure out ballpark images and all that kind of stuff. So we'll talk about that and maybe play a little game and maybe an inning or two or seven. I don't know. All right. So let's get to the comments about comments because you guys know I like to do these when I can. I think it makes it a little bit more personalized, and then I can just check off with the little hearts and thumbs up. All right. So let's start here. We got one from Pete Kelly. Let me make this a little bigger. Okay, there we go. Pete Caviat or 687. So thanks for coming in. This was 20 years ago, or 20 years ago, 20 hours ago. And this was on the my first look at Baseball Mogul 2026, which I call it Same Old Dance, which it is, but it's still an excellent game, one that I would recommend, especially for beginners. But you know what? Even if you're a seasoned pro baseball simmer, there's a lot to love about the game. I just think the on-field action or lack thereof is lacking. But as far as its interface, it's beautiful. It's great. It's wonderful. Anyhow, he says, "Thank you for this review. I've purchased Baseball Mogul the past few years, and I've felt like it's been the same old game each year. I love to play the games out, and so the gameplay graphics have really bothered me in that they never change. I've downloaded a mod from the forum that at least improves the stadium images, so that's nice. Also, the sound is really unrealistic, as you mentioned. I refuse to purchase this game any longer until some major improvements are done, especially the gameplay. I've not tried the All-Star mode, but seeing that it is broken is truly ridiculous. I hope Khalif sees your review and takes the criticism seriously because this game is not worth the money even at the 40% discount." So coming out straight out of the rip there. And there's really a lot to dissect there, but let me give him a thumbs up and a heart here, and hopefully he will catch that I've answered him on stream. So let's take it down. Yeah, I this game. I liked that there was a version earlier, and I can't remember which one of it. I buy Baseball Mobile every year or so. Not that Clay is listening in, but I do support your game. I really, really do. And I think for me to make this a complete package, I would really like to see again something more, just as P Caviator 687 is talking about here. Because a lot of us don't just play GM sims. In fact, there are folks like me. I don't touch the GM stuff at all. I couldn't care less about the price of a pretzel or a beer or peanuts or contracts or anything. I want to play baseball, and it would be really nice if nothing else, it wouldn't be a complete overhaul, but maybe improve the ball animations. Let's have some bouncing balls and stuff like that. Ones that maybe are going to bounce off the wall or something like that. You don't need necessarily you know, like an animated chalkboard like Action PC Baseball has. Brad Church, He says, "Happy Sunday, Dr. Beatsles." He says, "About to walk into church, but going to watch later. God bless you. Say a prayer for you this morning. Thank you. Prayers are needed. And blessed Palm Sunday to you." If you're a Western Christian, if you're an Eastern Christian like me, we got next week. But anyhow, yeah, bless you, brother. And hopefully, you know, catch you around sometime, man. So the most important thing, though, is to worship God. So thanks for coming in, brother. So the other thing that would be nice is when you're looking at the field action or the field image in Baseball Mogul, you're just seeing the ranges, right? The ratings of the outfielders and the infielders. So it'd be really nice to have like their names. That would be kind of cool. Because the play-by-play in the game is sparse, it gets the job done. It just gives you the play result and everything. Perhaps in a future version of Baseball Mogul, we could see that. That would be nice. Instead of having a look at the lineup cards, oh, this one's float out to left. Who made the play? And the reason I mention this, Clay, and community is because more and more people are using companion products like Baseball, Commissioner HQ, and stuff like that, and they want to be able to to get some better scoring and stuff like that. And while the game does a good job of it, I think there's definitely room for improvement. The sound is, I don't know. I think the code of this game has been built in so long that maybe there's not a way to change that crowd loop sample. Again, as I had mentioned in my first look, way back in 1994, 1995, APA PC Baseball was really using early AI technology, a reactive crowd, and all that kind of stuff. And it would be nice to see that. And that's pretty common now in a lot of games. So, but overall, I think it's still a very, very, very good game. I'm really kind of sad that the all-time all-stars part of this is broken. Hey, Aaron Reed, there he is. Was with us a little chin wag last night. Welcome in, buddy. It's really kind of a drag, man, because I wanted to create a custom league out of right out of the all-star mode or the all-time great franchise mode or whatever, and you just can't. The other thing it would be nice, it would be to have that editable, and that would have been a good starting point and a way to import players. So I've already been told you have, or the Clay has no intention of porting season ticket baseball to PC. I think that's unfortunate, given the game that's behind my window here, Payoff Pitch Beta 3, which we're going to get to. And this thing is playing beautifully. StratMax, or Stratomatic ported their baseball game, of course, onto PC ages ago, as did APA PC Baseball. They're both superb games. In APA, of course, you can't roll your own, or APA Baseball for Windows, you can't roll your own dice, but it's a superior product to APA Go. Strat Max is fantastic, and in my estimation, is superior to the Strat PC game. But the thing is regardless of how you look at them, judge them, whatever, it's all subjective. I understand that. Is that it works, and people love season ticket baseball. Good morning, Rabid Wolverine. How you doing, man? And good morning, John DFW. Looks like it's that magic time to pop out comments. And yeah, guys, we are going to get to Beta 3 here in a few minutes of Payoff Pitch. So, I think that it's a good game, but I just for me, I feel that I've played the same game as last year and the year before. He said that there were improvements again to to the team matchup mode, whatever. There isn't. There really isn't, except that the proper uniform showed up. I remember when that feature debuted, everybody was wearing like sort of black jerseys, black caps, whatever. So, but that said, there's a lot that Baseball Mogul does and does well. It's got an amazing user interface. It's got a great way to show reports, which is very, very nice. It's a good, accurate baseball engine. Actually, that keeps getting better every year, which is nice to see. But my knock on the game is really I'd love to see some the on-field graphic presentation reworked a bit, and whether that's going to happen, I don't know. But at this point, on a tier maker, you guys have seen those S, A, B, C, and usually there's D and F or whatever. This is a B tier game, so that means it's a good game. I think you should buy it if baseball simming is your thing. If you're a beginner, it's super easy to do it. Creating leagues from teams from all eras of baseball is super easy in the game. So please at least fix the all-time all-stars. That's just a patch. It didn't work last year either. So Rabbit Software telling us he's still very undecided about Payoff Pitch PC, hoping this view can possibly change your mind. But playing National Pastime Next Generation Plus and using Action PTs to score it game might take a lot. And I get where you're coming from. I do. I am gonna buy the game, but I also realize that. But again, you guys know. I mean, I've got a lot of baseball games, and I love baseball games, and I love to change up. But for some folks, there you when you reach that sweet spot of that great combination as you have, right? So, and with National Pastime Next Generation, and Action PC to score it. I mean, yeah, you got the best of both worlds there, don't you? And so if you reach that spot, yeah, why change? I get both sides of it. I like to shake things up. I don't think that this is going to change your mind. I really don't. It's a very, very good baseball game. But at the end of the day, so are the two. Yeah, the cost of the seasons. I know. They're not cheap. It's a hefty investment, granted, and they're all well done and everything like that. But yeah, this is right now to get the cards and season the game is a lot to me. Yeah, yeah, I think it is a lot. There's been some good spirited discussion about that in the Payoff Pitch Discord, and we're actually going to be getting to that. So Ron Jopes, thank you very much. Let me give you that in a heart. He says enjoyed it as always. So when we were doing Pocket Pennant Run, we were talking about I was because they added in some new hits. So one of them was 1B no, and he said, could that be a single with no advance by runners? For example, the infield single with runner holding at second or third in the play. It could be. That could very well be because there's no asterisk on 1B no, so it could very well be. So, Ron, we're going to see how that works out. I haven't seen anything that comes up in Pocket Pennant Run Baseball that says runner does not advance. So I'm wondering if that's more of something if you were playing it as board game companion, but we'll see as because there's another one. There's something out. There's a couple abbreviations that don't make sense to me, and I really, really wish they would allow me to start writing the manual. I really do, because the game really, Pocket Pennant Run needs a manual now. All right. And Brother Jack Dawson, he says, good afternoon. Brother Beatles earlier today completed Game 9 of his 1992. I cannot keep up with you, Jack. You're everywhere, man. Love it, though. 1992 Pirates season so far. If your 92 Pirates still can't get a win together, the only good thing is just obtaining 5 or 6 strikeouts. Final score, Phillies 4, Pirates 2, and the Pirates right now, ooh, yikes, geez, they're 0-9, yow. Ouch, ouch, ouch. All right, well, keep up the great work there, Jack. All right, moving on. Gary, I think is giving me, thank you, Gary Malphus, I think he's giving me way too much credit. He says, Beatles, I think we have you to thank for Payoff Pitch offering to allow us to pick the season we get with the purchase of the game. Brought this up in your beta review, and now they're allowing it if you buy through Sideline Strategy. Thanks. I don't know if it was me, but I do know that I had offered that idea. I don't remember if I was the first. I know that Paul also chimed in on it, though, as well, after my comment. And so the scuttlebutt that I'm hearing is that if you buy the game on Steam, you got to buy it with it comes with the 2025 season and the Legends and Busts Volume 1. If you buy it from Sideline Strategy, you can pick the season, any season that's available. I prefer to buy on Steam, but I also can understand that maybe because Steam does take a cut from your from any purchase on there from the developer. They're going to make a little bit more money. Sorry. Good morning, Michael Peterson. You said you're still waiting for your roster card lifetime PDFs. Hopefully you get them. I don't want you to wait too long. Never have to wait too long. It's baseball after all. All right. So Gary, I mean, you're welcome. I just thought it made sense that just being around this community, there's not a lot of us that really want to play the 2025 season. A lot of us want to go back and play some other great seasons, and certainly the 2025 postseason was amazing, one of the best World Series of all time. But I look at not only what we do here in this family, but I look at RJO Network, what our Red Sox fan has done, what a lot of other guys have done, and I'm not seeing a lot of guys doing 2025 replays. What I'm seeing, rather, like especially with people on YouTube that are doing out of the park baseball that aren't a part of this immediately, are part of the community. So yeah, and Steam takes 30% of the sale. Yeah, and we want Joe Bryant and everybody at Payoff Pitch to make some money. So I'm going to go the non-Steam route on this time and just have to keep an eye on updates. But I'm going to buy it. I am just a little bit, I'm still trying to get used to those season prices because, I don't want to just, I want to pick two seasons, or I want to buy two seasons. So my idea is if the Legends and Busts comes with it on the Sideline Strategy and a season for my choice, then I will also buy another season as well. So it's a $70 initial investment. That's a lot of baseball to play. And then just kind of chip away at getting the seasons as I can, maybe once a month or once every other month or whatever, because I am a completionist, and if I love a game, really love a game, I will. And the price is a little bit cheaper than Diamond Mine Baseball, and a lot less expensive also than PC Replay Baseball. So there is that. But I think they've got to be careful on Steam with the prices, and that's been my real concern. And I haven't really seen much. I've even said, look, you're going to get DLC to death, or people are going to say we're being DLC to death, but nobody's really addressed that comment. So, I can only offer what I can as a gamer. Is PC Payoff? No, this is Beta 3, Michael. And I'm going to, well, back here. So I'm going to show Beta 3 here in a little bit. This is not going to be exhaustive, however. I would say Baseball Maelstrom is going to give you a lot of deep stuff on it, as well as a lot of channels, including our own Paul Fay, who put up a video 5 hours ago that also shows significant update for the Baseball HQ app, which, again, is game agnostic. So April 4th. So, boy, I don't know. We'll see. That would be this coming Saturday, which is nice with my new schedule. I'm off Saturday, so I could be here on release day for it and play it. All right. Let's move on, and we are going to get to Payoff Pitch, I promise. All right. Next one we have here is Neil Hodgkinson, 7315. He says, hi. Hey, Neil. How you doing? So this was yesterday. He says, I've played Baseball Mogul and Out of the Park Baseball. The thing I really like about Mogul is you can pitch and determine which type of pitch you want the pitcher to use, whereas in Out of the Park Baseball you can't. The box scores and plays are much cleaner on Mogul. I would score Mogul an 8 out of 10. However, Out of the Park Baseball is also a good game rated, and he's rating it at 7.5 out of 10. What do you think? Thanks for the review. Yes, so you reviewed it on your channel too today. So I'm not going to review it, Paul, but welcome in. So April 7th it is. Of course, they're going to release it on a work day. Devs. Why did devs release games on Tuesdays? Bah. Okay, understand, Paul. Gotcha. All right. All right, so you're asking what I think. Okay. Well, first you get a thumbs up and a heart, so that you know I answered this. Oh, absolutely. Whoops, that was Gary's. Jeez. Things jumping around like crazy. There we go. All right. So you're asking me what I think. Well, the first thing I think is it's all subjective. I don't care whether you're doing movie reviews and you get paid, great thick stacks of bucks, euros, pounds, whatever to do it, shekels. So it's subjective. Now, I mean, it'd be interesting to carry on the conversation by sort of your criteria. That's why I kind of I like that tier list type thing, but I kind of stay away from number scores if I can, unless I can see that there's kind of an established sort of rubric for that. I think that the box scores for out of the park baseball are certainly more dense, but they're also, for me, more complete. I also like the AI write ups. Do a very, very good job, and it kind of reminds you of a pivotal point in the game that may have happened in the sixth inning or something like that. As far as the the type of pitch you want the pitcher to use, I do know that sometimes managers are going to sort of signal pitches to the catcher that they want the pitcher to pitch. But largely, it's largely a catcher thing. And if Baseball Mogul's a management sim, and for me at least, um, having that pitch and placing that pitch, it's almost for me, Neil, like the Baseball Mogul is trying to kind of sort of do what you can do in like Super Mega Baseball um, or MLB The Show. Because it's the same with. I mean, it's kind of fun. It's like, okay, I'm going to try to get a fastball up in the zone. So now I'm playing as sort of a pitcher and sort of a manager. So to me, that doesn't. It's cute. It's fun. But again, I'm not. That's something that to me takes me out of the managing. Yeah. So it was a download corrupted database. Yep. I don't think the board game companion is there yet, but I believe it will be. Dan has asked me for a list describing what well elevated. And thanks for the PPR demo. Yeah, it was just downloaded, was corrupt. Yeah, it's working. Like I said, you saw last night, Paul. It's working for me. So I mean, when Craig releases the next patch, I'll patch it. But it's working just like a champ. So all I did, guys, for any of you that might be, will go off tangent here. Although we could save this for this week in baseball simming. If you're getting some errors and you still have your previous version of Pocket Pennant Run Baseball, download the new version, but just copy just the executable into your Pocket Pennant Run directory. And when you fire it up, you're going to get a message from the game saying, "Hang on a second, I need to update your databases." Da 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 da. So don't copy everything over the old game sheets or anything like that. And it preserved my projects. So try that as a workaround. Okay? And happy Sunday to you, Samuel Smith. All right. Rabbi Wolverine says, well, if the board game companion is up to par, that will make your decision very easy to decide for purchase. Thank you for the info. Well, let's look at it. So with the board game companion, what we'll do is I'll use Pocket Pennant Run. I've just got to make sure I'm just picking two teams, whatever, that are included with Payoff Pitch. And we'll give it a try. So we're going to run it through its paces. So buckle up, guys. See. So at the end, Neil, I think what you're saying is what works for you. Certainly the plays are cleaner in Mogul, but Mogul's not trying to do a 3D engine either. It's not a 3D game. It's on a 2D plane, and it's giving you the illusion of 3D. But it's a sprite based game. You can definitely see that with the pitcher and the batter. Those are sprites, and or something comparable to sprites. And it's a fine game. It's a fine game. Yeah, no worries, Rabbit Wolverine. I appreciate you putting your trust in me. That said, I'm not a shill for any of these games. I'm not part of them or whatever. So I don't get any money for this. I'm just being an honest reviewer, and I do try to go kindly. That said, when I have an issue, a criticism of a game, I will. We showed Don Broad baseball last night, which we'll get to, and yeah. All right, let's move on. AP says, "Hi Beatles, can't wait to try the new demo for Strategy Baseball." I just checked my email. I haven't heard anything back yet from Crash. I may have to reach out to him unless he's awake. We are on the same time zone. He can come on and say, "Hey, I want to fix up a couple things before you put it up there." So it's coming, AP. Anyhow, you get a thumbs up and you get a heart. There you go. Boom. Cool, cool, cool. It's really a fine game. All right, JT Dutch says Moguls will find enough game, but the price point should be around $30 to $35. If it's not going to be significantly updated, my 2 cents. Amen. So I I, uh, I think that's definitely on point. Certainly, Mogul gives you all the seasons, and it is a good game. As Back Bay down here in Back Bay, I think understood a comment that I made the other night. Back Bay, the comment wasn't about you, so I did answer that. But I talked about there's always somebody that pops in here and then pops out. I know who it is, and it's not Back Bay. I know who's doing it, and I think it's really childish. Just stop. If you don't want to, just don't even come in. If you want to stay, but it's not you, Back Bay. You're cool. So nope, haven't got any update yet with Crash. So I just you guys saw the still the kind of little lingering issues there with some of the reports hard to read. So I'd like to see if Crash wants to get that fixed before the demo is up. So that's the only reason I'm holding back on it. So hang in, guys. Rabbit Wolverine says it's the main reason I started caching your streams. Love how genuine you are about products. Hate the shows for companies people can't give criticism. Yeah, when I watch a gaming video, and as soon as somebody says this is sponsored, but they'll say, but the game company said I can say what I want about the game. Invariably, when I see a sponsored video, and look, I know these guys out there that have monetized their channels. They want to make some money, right? We have guys in our own community that write, well, if you subscribe to my Patreon, you get this and you get that. And I'm not knocking those guys, but that's not, and that doesn't make them wrong. But I wouldn't, I wouldn't take a sponsor. My sponsored, you want to sponsor me for a video, here's the thing. All right, you give me a copy of your game, and I'll review it. But I don't want to be paid. I don't want to be sponsored. And I see like a lot of the big YouTubers will do that. And they'll say, oh, full disclosure, Paradox is sponsoring this. I can't trust it. I'm sorry. But you're not going to take somebody who's given you a free full release of a game. And I just don't believe you can do an honest review. I really, really can't. That's why, like, there's a guy I follow, Doctor Incompetent. I love this guy. He's like this ASMR voice, and every game that he plays and every game that he reviews, he has bought. Mortismal Gaming, every game that he reviews, he has bought. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Rabbit Wolverine. Thank you. I just don't. I mean, they're great. I love watching their content, but I never watch their reviews unless they bought the game. Who's another one? Nookrium. Nook, right? This guy does. You think I do long broadcasts? This guy, I'm a rookie compared to him. He buys games. Dad's Gaming Addiction buys them. I want to be unbiased about it, and I'm not. When I do these things, I'm not. Back Bay, you get a thumbs up and a heart there. I'm not trying to hurt developers' feelings. So when I talk about baseball mogul as kind of being the same old dance, at least with on-field action, I mean it is. I'm not going to lie. What am I going to do? Say, ooh, the cell shading's a little sharper? Nah. All right, what do we got here now? We got Bandit Elvis. So how about, isn't that a cool name? Isn't that a cool name? Bandit Elvis. So this was 2 days ago. He says, is there no animated graphics in Baseball Max? There are not. The only thing that is animated pretty much in Baseball Max is the dice roll on the card. That's it. Baseball Max is, of course, Strat Baseball on a web interface. But that being said, it's an excellent game, and I really encourage you to give it a shot. I think you can try it for free for a number of days or something. I think. I don't remember, but it's worth it. It's worth it. But nope, no animated graphics. If you want animated graphics, there's Out of the Park Baseball. You even have some animation in Baseball Mogul. But really, out of the park baseball, action PC baseball, games like that are going to give you some animation. You're going to have some animation and payoff pitch even too. All right. So Mike Koss, a Blue Rose case 3 days ago, and of course, this guy, serious baseball simmer. He said it'd be great if we had a database guru that could somehow update the database used in Pure Sim to include up to 2025. I totally agree. That's such a great game. He says, I kind of messed around with it, but couldn't get it to work. Kept getting an error when starting the game. It seems like it does use some type of version of the Lyman database. It does. It uses older versions. So Sean Lyman has like sort of refined the database and everything as it's gone through the years and stuff like that. So I don't think it's compatible. So I appreciate you trying, man. I'm sure the community appreciates that. Wonder if the database can be updated properly, if the actual code has to be altered. My guess would be that it's got to be the code, because there's going to be, I think, new things in the Lyman database that the game's going to look for, or I should say, rather, the game's not going to recognize as it is. So yeah, I mean, and Sean Sullivan, wherever you are, you said in 2016 you were working on the sequel to Pure Sim Baseball, and it's been 11 years. So this thing better make me coffee, and it better look like Kate Beckinsale, and perform certain services, as it were. Like running to the store because I want to stay home and play baseball games. So get your minds out of the gutters, boys. So that is just an opinion. And there was Mark Unger. He said that was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me on. So we had a great discussion with Mark Unger, and we had JT Dutch on at the same time, and it was pretty amazing. All right. Let me see. 5 days ago, Coffee Nut Gaming Network says another good video. Thank you, brother. You guys even get thumbs up and hearts even if you hate me. Another good video, really cool discussion. As far as the robot calls, we were talking about the ABS system in Major League Baseball. In my opinion, I think it's the worst idea baseball has had in a long time. And that's really saying something right there, because they've had a lot of bad ideas there in MLB, haven't they? Even worse than the Ghost Runner. He says, I think the drama over umpires' calls is part of a very human game of baseball. The limit of the shift is silly. How about teaching players to hit to the other way or bunt for a hit? I hate most of the new changes. Then again, I'm a guy that wishes the DH would be abolished and players would not be allowed to wear all the protective gear when they're at bat. I wanted to go back to Aaron rubbing some dirt in his bare hands and stepping into the box to face the pitcher. Mano a mano. Keep up the good work. Thank you, brother. Yeah. I mean, you know what? Ty Cobb got spiked really hard, or not Ty Cobb, Hannes Wagner, and all these players, right? And this happened during a game. Don't know what year it was, and just pulled down the pants. Everybody's contributing mud and tobacco, slapped it on there, pulled up the pants, finished the game, then went to the hospital and got 27 stitches. Of course, in those days you didn't have Scott Boris's and things like that, and whatever. But the ABS thing is I don't like it either, and for the same reasons. It just kind of takes out that human element, right? We're not perfect, and I'm just afraid that at some point, what comes next then after the automatic, or the automated balls and strike system? What else is going to happen? We're going to have little sensors on the field. So, oh God, I shouldn't even say this. Why even encourage them by even saying something else is silly, right? Where you're going to have sensors up the foul lines, first and third base, and right for those exciting close calls, or like those little bunts, right, that are rolling up the third base line, right, and you're watching the catcher, right, and they're moving up there, watching, trying to will that ball to go foul, and who knows, that could be next, and so yep. Preaching to the choir. The protective equipment, though, I'm okay with. I'm definitely okay with that. I mean, if those velocities, I don't know, and I don't know, no Major League Baseball player, but you're stepping in there, and these guys are wailing at 102 miles an hour. I'd like to know I'm wearing a bit of gear anyhow. Thank you, Paul, for that. Okay, and all right, so Big Rev Kev, he's very, very active in the Payoff Pitch forums. So Kevin Thomas, he says, thanks for the stream. This was This was 6 days ago when Paul came on here and we did the instructional demo, which was good stuff. So yeah, man, he said getting up and running with the Pocket Pennant Run software, good stuff. Ernie, so now we're back to 11 days ago. But he says, love 1960s baseball, enjoy the game and your narration. The way the field image scoreboard changes with each half inning is pretty cool. All right. Well, thank you guys. So those are the comments about comments. Now, this week in baseball simming, if I could impersonate Mel Allen as he did in Twib, I would. So what did we see? We saw the new edition of Baseball Mogul. We saw an update of Pocket Pennant Run Baseball. We saw what we're about to see beta 3 of this, of Payoff Pitch. We have the new update of Dombrov Baseball. It was a much needed update that I'm very, very happy about. The UI, though, still is not where it needs to be. But there's a little bit of workarounds for that, at least as far as making it a little easier to read. But I think Richard's got a good game there now. A really, really good game that's worth your try. What else happened this week? Twib. I think this week in baseball simming. Would that be in Twibs? So, yeah, we'd be Twibs instead of Twibs. So we can work with that. All right, so here we are. Payoff pitch. Everybody's excited, but a lot of people are about the prices for the seasons and the intro price of the game. So let's have a little tete-a-tete about that. Just if you guys want to throw in again, as we are getting close to release date, I think it's important. That I don't know. It's good to air the feelings, the airing of grievances, and certainly we are nowhere near Festivus, but we'll work with that as well. So again, Samuel, I'm going to check my email right now just to see, because Crash usually tries to come on during he was here last night for a little bit, kind of said hi. And here we go. All right. So here is the official. All right, here's the official word. He says Beatles didn't have time to work on all issues. Going to wait until next weekend to release the demo. Have you found anything? Okay, I'll answer him later. But there's your update. So that was just like 5-10 minutes ago. So I am not going to be putting up the demo this week. We'll play some demos, play some games. Maybe you guys, we can, maybe tonight we'll do that or something. You can kind of look at things, hey, this is what I'd like to see. He's working on a lot of issues. He's been very, very responsive of the things that we've pointed out. So hang in there, guys. I think you'd rather play something that's going to be a bit more enjoyable than the problems that you already saw. Wow, that, this is hard to read or that. So, as I said, unless Crash says otherwise, I would have uploaded Strategy Baseball, but we gotta wait. Gotta wait. It's his baby. Rabid Wolverine says, I think that the start cost of the game is fine. No issues there. For me as a cards and dice guy, the cost of a single season is too high. Cards are $10 for PDF and $20 for season in game. Yeah. But I seriously doubt my type are the target audience. Well, no, I think you are. I think also, though, that I think that people that have bought Payoff Pitch, the PDFs, certainly, and played the cards and dice board games, and they've demonstrated loyalty to the product. I'm not going to tell Joe Bryant how to run his business. I'm saying if it was mine, I would be saying, all right, guys, if I don't know whether if they maintain a customer database or whatever, but I think if you've bought the PDFs, I think that you should get at least a break on the digital seasons. I do, and I know you can use the board game companion and still play your Payoff Pitch there, but the idea of, of course, of Payoff Pitch is, that you're able to see have all the cards right there and things like that. I would offer that discount. So for me, Rabid Wolverine, the cost of the start cost, I'm still going to buy it, but I think it's too high. It's the same price as Out of the Park Baseball, and it's just not. I think it's a little high. I think it would be a little bit more fair. Knock $5 off of it. You know what? Make it $44.99. But at $49.99 for the base price, you're in out of the park territory now. And people, especially on Steam, are going to they're going to notice that. And Digital Diamond Baseball is like the baseball bargain in the world. And it is a cards and dice game, and it's a digital baseball game. And you can even, this is kind of the same way. So the other thing about the loyalty, and I don't know if they've thought about this, and again, all I'm doing is I was just given the honor of, hey, you want to beta test this thing, show it on your channel? Yeah, of course. It's in their interest as well. People get, especially on Paul's channel. Paul's passed 5,000 members on his channel now, or subscribers, or family members, whatever you want to call it. So congrats, Paul. Well deserved. But I think that if best advertisement is word of mouth. So why not give these people, hey, listen, I've been with you. I can show you proof of purchase. Here's my order number. Come on, the guys who bought they're going to spread the news about your game. I think if you do these guys a solid. It's like, look, I already bought 1969 from you, and now you're going to make me pay $20 for 1969. So give them a break. I mean, they still got to make some money, guys, but I think those guys need a break. People coming into it new like me to Payoff pitch, I got to pay full price. I haven't earned their loyalty, and but so I'm my problem is the base game is too high, because it is what it is. All right, so one of the things that I'm really excited about in beta 3 is very cosmetic looking. But it's the ability. Ballparks are now included in the game. Now ballparks are now included in the game, and you can put your own ballpark images in. So what you do is first, the first thing you're going to notice is you're going to have to create a new project. I kind of figured this out. So if we go to 1969 season, and if I click on Baltimore Orioles, you can see that I can't change that, okay? So it's a DLC project, view only, teams cannot be edited. So there's nothing here I can really do. You can see I'm clicking like a madman, okay? So what you got to do is, I mean, you can certainly look at everybody's cards and things like that. Season ticket on P is unlikely now. Developer told me it's too difficult to transfer to PC, but he spent decades pushing it. Yeah, he just doesn't want to do it. That's my opinion. Come on. I mean, Payoff pitch is going to hit the market here. And yeah, it's not too difficult. Stratomatics on out there as a PC game and as a web game. Appa is out there as a PC game and as a web app. Payoff pitch is out there. Inside pitch is out there. God, what else is out there as a PS? There's like tons, right? So no, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I've got to go on mute for a second, guys. I will be right back. All right, I'm back. Thanks, guys. Had to take that call. Yeah, Status Pro as well. So, and Dombrov Baseball. So one guy takes Sports Illustrated Baseball. There's another guy doing SI Baseball too. So no, I don't buy it. He's making good money with season ticket baseball. I just think he's losing a golden opportunity here. But That's all right. Clay's doing what he's doing. I don't see. Again, I've never played season ticket P- season ticket baseball. I've heard a lot of great things about it, but I can't imagine that it's more. Who was that guy that was doing like this really expensive baseball game that he created, and it's got charts upon charts upon charts upon charts and crazy, 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 and he's talking about making a PC version of the game too. So I haven't seen anything that indicates in any season ticket cards and dice that it's too difficult to port to a computer. Clay's a programmer. He was part of the whole Tony La Russa old time baseball crowd back in the mid '90s. So yeah, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Season ticket board games excellent. Plays like Payoff Pitch. Tim, how you doing? Good afternoon. All right, so I'm going to show you the ballpark images. So what I did is I just created a new project, and I just did 1969. And if you look here at the Orioles, I have the stadium image is Memorial Park. It's a bit grainy, but it's just I just pulled one out of DK Sports. So you can use PNG files, you can use JPEGs. I'm going to show you how to do this because it was a little weird at first how I had to do this. There's your lineups, there's your rotations, and all that kind of stuff. So pretty nice game tracking and probable starters. Cool. So what do you do? What do you do? So you'll notice though, now when you create a project, so these are uneditable, but all you do is just create a project, and now I can go through and edit everything. I just want to really kind of get you in the feels there with that. Okay, let's cancel that. So what I did is I just created a new project, 1969 replay, and just want to show you just quickly what a park looks like in here. But before I do that, how do you set up parks? Because this was kind of weird. So when I'm down here, and let's look at the Tigers, and stadium image is default. Well, okay, yeah, that's cool. And if I go to what the hell is it, Comerica Park, so you're going to get this sort of what I like to call the diamond mine view, which is cool. That's cool. It's totally fine to play the game that way. But for me, what I would rather do is have a view like this, or have a view like that, right? And it's really, really, really quite easy to do. The only thing that I had asked in the beta test forum is, you guys know in Action PC Baseball, there's a little thing that says reset labels, because all your outfielders are up in the sky and everything's kind of gets bunched around here, but I'll explain all that for you. So let's put in a ballpark for the Tigers, all right? So I'm going to open another window here. I've opened a couple file explorers to show you the way I do it. There might be an easy way to do it. Okay, so there's my all my ballparks. There's like 795 ballparks here that I have for out of the park baseball. Okay, all right. Now for the Tigers, all right. I'm going to go ahead and let's go to. So I don't have Tiger Stadium in here. That's fine. That's fine. We're actually gonna put that image. We're gonna get this image in here. Okay, how do we do that? Well, we do it like this. Let's go ahead and close. So I'm going to show you my, let's bring Windows Explorer or File Explorer up, and let's bring up a second File Explorer. There might be a faster way to do this, but this is the way that works for me. Okay, so you want to have your directory that has your ballparks in whatever game that you're playing. So I know Dombrov has a ton of ballparks, Action PC. You can go out and get these ballparks, really, really easy to get, right? And then you have up here, you have your Game Pulse directory. So this is where, right now at least, Payoff Pitch is is located. And so if we open any of the PNG files right now, so we were looking at Comerica. So we look at Comerica, there you can see over here that it is that diamond mine look. Well, I don't necessarily want that. It's cool, but let's do it a different way. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come down here and I'm going to find a version of Comerica Park. And I'm not going to be terribly picky about this. There's a pretty picture. And what we're going to do is we're going to copy it. And I'm just going to, I'm one of those folks that like to copy at the directory level. And I'm going to paste that in there. Okay. Okay, so Comerica's in there. And if we look down here, Comerica Park, where are you, Comerica Park? Did I just not copy you in here? Maybe the game's not seeing it. Yeah, there it is. So there's Comerica Park. And now we want to put it in the game. Now, it may be that I have to restart the game. We're gonna find out. I think we might have to. I don't know that it's gonna recognize it or not. So let's go here. And let's go to yeah, so you can see here. Oh wait, let's see. Nope, not that one. There it is. It's there. Now all I have to do is just move some dudes around, and what's nice here is they give you the base markers, fielder positions, and batter boxes. Okay, so you can see this is your third base, so this is your runner on third. First base and second base is way out here in center field. Move the pitcher on the bump. This it doesn't take long. Your center fielders are up in the air getting high, which is pretty nice. Let's put our third baseman in here. And our shortstop here. It's just I didn't see anybody else really describe this, and for the Beatles is an idiot type thing, right? Which I am, and I own it. Okay, so there we go. And for somehow I don't know why this happened, but it's City Field. But we're just gonna. I just want to show you how it's done. This is my error. I guess I hit the wrong button and called it Comerica. There's our catcher, right? Your left-hand batter, and here, and right-hand batter, and right back, right? So there's home plate, and here, and here. And this field is ready to go. And it's ready to be assigned. However, it's not Comerica, it's City Field. That's all you do. And it's ready to go. So let's close this actually, and I want to go back in and fix that mistake. So again, I just learned how to do this morning, so I do beg your patience on this. It's super easy. I just made the wrong pick is all I did. So let's go into game and ballparks, and let me get rid of that. Comerica, whatever I did there, which was really stupid. So it is showing a game. It's showing City Field up there, so I think I have a mistake in there. So let's get rid of this. Okay, it's gone, and let's actually do a Comerica Park. Jeez, and put it in there. There's Comerica Night, and I have other ballparks elsewhere. There, Comerica 2. Copy it. I could just drag it over, but I don't want to move it. I just want to copy it. Copy it, and then back to Game Pulse, and I'm just gonna paste it. Okay, all right. So let's again go to ballparks, and we have Camden Yards. Now we got Comerica Park 2, and what we're gonna do is assign this to the Detroit Tigers. So I'll show you how to do it. Finally got it right. Yay, Beatles! And then we'll play a little game. We'll look at the board game companion. We're going to look at all the different game modes again. I know that a lot of folks have already seen this, but let's keep it going. There's a lot of work that they're doing on the AI. We can kind of just sort of mess around with it, see how that works. Okay. I love the fact that this really dresses up the game big time now. I kind of like the look of ballparks when I'm playing a game, so yeah, it's nice. Let's bring these guys down here. Ballpark factors or whatever. So remember, there's no ball flight in this game. So you don't have to worry about placement of walls and fence heights and stuff like that. Ballpark factors are built into the game already. Now, I don't know whether all the ballparks in Major League history are in here yet, but that's neither here nor there. Let's move all this stuff away and get out of the way. Let's put our home plate there. Let's put our catcher there. Our right-hand batter is going into the boxes, and then their base markers. So just there and there, and we're ready to go. Okay, so that's Comerica 2. Let's save it. Okay, ballpark positions are saved. Okay, and then close out. And I know Detroit didn't have this in 1968, but that's okay. All right. Stadium image is Comerica 2, and there it is. Save. Now, if we were to play an exhibition game, which we'll do now. So play new game, but let's look at AI settings first. So here's the different AI settings. So you can enforce rest chart rules, enforce historical usage rate. So you can change this. You can allow short rest starts on or off, AI pinch hitting on or off, injuries enabled, default strategy. Okay, this is for the AI. You can play balanced, aggressive, conservative, dead ball era, station to station, fireman, speed demon, money ball, opener era. Pretty cool. You can also do this per team as well. Okay, so this is going to tell you what each of these means. So each interesting to see. So dead ball is scientific baseball, manufacture one base at a time. Okay, but station to station is live ball out, station to station. So this is kind of 1920s baseball, I suppose. Firemen, we know about all this stuff, right? Speed demons, astroturf and big parks reward speed above all. So you could be looking at right 1970s baseball. So without actually saying it, it's there. But you can also, which I think is really really nice. Let's cancel out of this for right now. We can go to each team. If we go to Baltimore Error or go to the Orioles, okay, and we can look at our roster. And again, you can activate, deactivate players from here. Go to your lineups. There's your lineups. You can look at your, you can choose. You can just filter just shortstops. There we go. We got Davey Johnson, Chico Salmon, Bobby Floyd, who can play shortstop, or we can just go to all. Okay, pretty nice. Not going to mess with that right now. There's your rotation, player usage, your schedule. Pretty cool. Let's cancel that. Okay. Let's go to what else do we want to do here? This is just edit schedule. We're not going to worry about. Whoops, not going to worry about that. I'm sorry. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. I need to make this behave itself a little bit. I don't want to really mess with the schedule. So let's just return to project. Okay. Let's go to Boston, and let me see if there's anything else here that I need to show you here before we go there. Setting lineups pretty easy. You can also generate lineups, and you can save those lineups if you want. I think it does an okay job. I might want to try to do a couple of these runs. You can put in actual lineups, yeah. So there we go. All right. You can change the roles of your players, starters, long relief, short relief. Pretty deep baseball game, isn't it? Looking at hitters. There you go. All right. So let's just cancel out of all that, and let's play a new game. Let's just play a game. And let's just do an exhibition game because I want to play in Comerica Park. Okay. Let's make the home team the Detroit Tigers. Okay. And it's saying Tiger Stadium, so again, the photo is kind of just window dressing. So I should have probably done Tiger Stadium, but it doesn't matter. It's not going to affect the game. And let's put the New York Mets in there against them. Okay. I don't know how, I forget how the Tigers did in 1969. But let's bring in the New York Mets. So my approach to this has been the way it has before. I just want to approach the game as if, I've never touched it before. Okay, there we go. New York Mets. No DH roll. We're just going to continue. Okay. And I don't feel like setting lineups, so we're going to just generate. what's cool about this, let me see, where is it? You can go to your project default. So this is per team. However, if you want to, Super Bowl tournament, how you doing? Great to see you. You can set this pretty cool. So for Jim McGann, or for this AI manager, I could set one manager to station baseball, and I can go to another manager and send it to Speed Demon. So what's really nice about the AI managers, and let's go ahead and generate something over here. The nice thing about these managers is you can even put different styles. Why would the teams not be alphabetical order in the choosing of a team? Because we're just picking. I don't know why. It's just picking two teams. That's not the main part of the game, so that's a good question. I'll ask that in the beta test forum. Say, could you guys please split these up in leagues and alphabetically? Maybe that's just an area of the game that hasn't gotten a lot of sort of look-see. All right, Mets fans are going to be upset, but we can't have two blues on here. We don't really have this red player is not really a red player. He's orange, so that's okay. Tigers at home, they get to be blue. Let me see again. So here's your edit roster, your edit. This is for editing for positions and all that kind of stuff. And for everybody here, we can look at all their cards and everything like that. So pretty nice stuff, okay? And let's just, you can have AI manager. Again, you can set everything up even in here after you've done it. So there's a lot of deep, fine tweaking that you can do in season or in payoff pitch baseball. Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and just cancel out of that, and let's just go into the game itself. Top of the first, and there we are. So look back from beta 1 and beta 2. This to me is really, really huge. I really like this. I like the transparency. Everything comes up here nice and clearly. What I like it. I really, really like it. All right. This was one of my suggestions they put in, by the way, because when I first tried beta 1, I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? And there it is. So this is always going to be in the home team color and secondary color. So we've got the payoff pitch. It's there. It's there. So let's go to game options. Game options are always accessible everywhere. So let's go to gameplay. And right now we're going to start playing it as pocket, or as, I keep saying pocket, payoff pitch baseball. So we're going to use manual dice rolling and all fast action cards. Okay. We'll get to board game companion, and then we'll bring up pocket pennant run and see how it works. Okay, so where you can move the scoreboard to the top middle and have it show all winnings. Let's try it. Some of the widgets you can move, and some you don't. Okay, we're going to leave everything at default right now, and let's resume game. And it does not look like that can be moved. I will ask if that wait, what can be moved? So this can be moved. But it doesn't look like this as a widget can go anywhere. So to have it show all winnings would be really nice. Let's go back to game options and let's make sure. Let's go to visuals. Let's see dark theme, individual view. I don't know what on stats field formats, combined view, individual view. So we'll go back and check these. So we do have a scoreboard, team lineups, autoplay. Bark background dust. I guess that's those little thingies flying around there. Inning transition, leaderboard options, autoplay, hotkeys, AI manager. You can you can do when you can disable or enable the AI managers. I like to play with the AI managers on, but we'll do all those kind of things. So it doesn't look like that's there, Rabid Wolverine. So if that's something people would like to see. What Out of the Park Baseball has done this year is it has, so you can see the line scores. It's going to show all the innings down here underneath, but I know you would like maybe have them over here, up in the sky, which is nice. All right, so what we do is we go to the payoff pitch, and we're going to do this as if we're rolling the dice. So we got Denny McLean and Tommy Agee, and always, I think a great touch in this game is when you mouse over the cards, they kind of pull out so you can see. So imagine when you're trying to look at both of these cards right now and they're not popped out. So I like this. I really, really like this. And super, super impressed about this with Payoff Pitch. Before I tried the beta, I never knew how to play Payoff Pitch. Never knew how to play Payoff Pitch. And now I pretty much understand a good deal of the game that I feel I could play the board game if I wanted to. I'm going to cancel and check something here. Yes, cancel. So you cannot move play. So you want to make sure you get your kind of field positions all set. That's not too bad. I can still see. And again, you get both the card and then you get kind of extra from the card and see where, just at a glance for matchups, Tommy Agee's going to be, for he's going to do better at wheelhouse. Patience pretty good. Tough a little bit lower. I'm an impatient. Okay. And let's do it. So let's do Payoff Pitch. And we're going to be rolling for the pitcher. And we find that this is going to be a ballpark result. So we're going to do the ballpark lookup using these 2d10s here. And this is going to be in play. So now we're going to roll for the batter. We're going to roll for the batter. And let's see what Tommy Agee gets. He picks up an 85, and it shows you right there, this is a G6. And you can see it's going to show there that it's going to show Trasuski. You saw it real quick kind of thing, and it kind of bounced into 2 little arrows. And ground ball to first. Brings up Cleon Jones. All right. And this one is going to be a pitcher roll showing us in play. So you get all kinds of great visual indicators with this game. All right, rolling for the batter. And this is a base hit. There it is. There it is, there it is, there it is. Boom. All right, now, one thing I asked them to... so the AI manager is calling for a steal. He's taken off for second base. So now what we've got to do is roll on the steal attempt. And he's safe. So Cleon Jones steals second. All right, gets a great jump. One thing I wish... I've asked if this could be done. I want to be able to mouse over the player, but I may not remember these ratings. But notice when I move anywhere off the little meeple, I can't look at the ratings. Yet here in the field for defense, I can look at, Tom Matchick's range, right? And his range is a D, and for an error, he's a 3. And I wish somehow this would stay up here for runners until... so I could get out and then move off or click off. To me, that would be nice. So, of course, you can set you will be able to set at some point. And there's Ed Kranepool standing right on the plate, but that's okay. Let's go with it. All right. All right. And this is going to be for this is a bunt check. Now we're rolling for the pitcher. And just, remember, it's you can't miss it. It's highlighted. Okay. And so this is going to be a patient. And this is going to be a 15, and that's going to be a walk coming off the patient area of the batter's cards. So, Ed Kranepool walks. Okay, now, let's go ahead and look at some different options now. Let's go to gameplay, and let's go to, let's do manual dice rolling. So now we've turned off the fast action cards. Let's resume the game. Payoff pitch. Okay, and... if I was rolling the dice manually, right? Okay, here we go. This is how this would work. So let's just say, for instance, see what happens while the batter is at the plate. We have a hit, right? And it could be a single, and runner on first or runner on second advances 1 base, and then you can just complete the play, and there you go. So Jerry Grody lines to single. So that's kind of like with rolling dice. But let's go to game options again, and let's use the board game companion instead. Okay. So a manual dice roll. Now I'm going to have to bring up Pocket Pennant Run Baseball for this one. Oh no, let's just pretend. Let's just pretend. We're going to use a board game companion. Okay. So let's resume the game and a payoff pitch. All right. So let's say that this is going to be an out. So here's all you do. You just go out. What kind of out is it? So it's going to be a ground ball to third and complete play. All right. Now the runner could have been stopped, to advance, but we had how many outs here, wherever it is. So we have 2 outs, so it makes sense that he's going to score. I think the clicking is maybe a little bit more than you find with Action PC Baseball. Pocket Pennant Run, I think, is the most efficient for this. Let's do payoff pitch. Here's Bud Harrelson, and Bud Harrelson is going to be out on a strikeout. Okay, and complete the play, and he strikes out. So Bud Harrelson can't catch up. Middle of the first, 1-0 Mets. So, Rabbit Wolverine, I don't know that this is really going to change your mind as a board game companion. So one game we could bring up here just quickly, just to show the difference, is Action PC Baseball. My assessment thus far, a lot of guys like the board game companion and payoff pitch. I think this, since you're playing this one, let's talk about it. So, and we could actually, no, I don't have these seasons installed, unfortunately. I don't think I have 19. Do I have 1969 installed? I can. You guys want me to install that and we can show that as a board game companion? Or let's just pick one. Doesn't matter. Let's just do an exhibition game here, but not in 1971. So we're going to just pretend. We're going to pretend just to compare and contrast the two. Okay. Let's just pick up Baseball Grades National League and let's just put 2 teams again. Yeah. So that's why I'm showing this. Why Action PC right now is I think the better one. But again, I think it's a meaningful comparison, gentlemen, because manual entry in Action PC just came into being this year. Okay, so let's take, again, since folks like modern teams a little bit better. And this is National League, and this is a Dave Cook product. Let's do an exhibition here, just quickly, between the 1976 Cincinnati Reds and the 2010 San Francisco Giants. We're going to be at AT&T Park. Let's play. And okay, and let's just do the computer lineup. Let's jump in the game. All right. So there's our manual. Now here's how the manual entry. The best thing is that you don't need to have the season to play it in Action PC Baseball. Well, you don't either in I don't think you need to either in payoff pitch. Somebody who's more well versed in using that can. But my understanding is that payoff pitch will work with kind of any baseball game. But here's why I like this one. So let's start it out. We got Ken Griffey Sr. Ken Griffey Sr. is going to single, and he's going to single to left. Let's just say he's going to go the opposite way. Single to left, go, and he's on. Okay, so usually at the most you're going to have just that 1-2 clicks. Okay, so now Cesar Geronimo is going to be up, and this could be a ground ball double play out of first. Okay, so the fielders are going to be right. It's going to initiate with the shortstop, right, and there you go, and boom, and that's it. It's that quick. With this payoff pitch. I didn't even see who we have up. Who do we have up here? Doesn't matter. Let's just say this is a base hit, and let's have a triple, and it's probably somebody that wouldn't normally have hit one. But yeah, there's Bill Freehand, drills one to the gap, so he's got a triple. Now let's do a triple in the other game. Triple in the other game. Come here. Where are you? Come back here, you garroty bastard. Okay, so we got Pete Rose up there. Well, of course, old Pete's going to hit a triple. I don't even have to say what field it's going to, but I like the fact that I can. So let's say that he had a triple to right field, go. And there it is. So it's going to show me that, and I like that. So I think for right now, if you're happy with using the game of your choice as a board game companion, whether that's Digital Diamond Baseball, which I don't use because I don't want to learn the syntax. This Action PC Baseball or Digital Diamond Baseball or Diamond or Pocket Pennant Run, there's really no need to switch. If you're just looking for the game as a board game companion, I think this one's more well developed, and yet I don't think this one is still yet as developed as Pocket Pennant Run yet. But this is still really good, and super easy and no syntax. So let's jump out of park or of Action PC Baseball, so we don't need to be in there anymore. Okay, so back to this. That is kind of how it works. Now, I again, I would need to be checked on this, but I don't know. So Digital Diamond is what you used to use, but more complex plays got tricky as hell. Yeah, I've watched Dwayne Martz do some of the really tricky plays in there, and watching the kind of crazy syntax. And I'm like, all right, is he playing baseball or is he doing sort of string theory here? I wasn't sure. I mean, he was playing, no problem with it, but but this way is nice. So to be honest with you guys, my preferred way of playing it is this, and not using the board game companion. Okay, I really, this is the way I like to play it. We could do manual sack bunt if we want. All this other stuff makes sense, but let's just play a couple more innings here. I think this is a great game. I really do. They've done such an incredible job. Those cards are crisp and clean and no caffeine. Do you guys remember that? Those little commercials? Do you remember that for 7 Up? All right, so here we go. Who do we got up here? Jim Northrup. Okay, and let's roll from the pitcher. I love how this goes. So this is going to be tough. This is going to be tough. Batter roll, and this is going to be a grounder to short. So it's very efficient. It's very efficient. Grounder to short. Oh, we got possible base advancement here. So you do have a lot of dice rolls, but that's okay. Runner on third scores on a grounder to second and or short, whatever. Boom, and there we go. So Jim Northrup grounds to shortstop, throw to first for the out, and runner scores, and the Mets and the Tigers are tied 1-1 here. So you can see up here, there's, with the transparency, maybe there is a way you can show this, hide this. It would be nice to maybe adjust the transparency here, if that's possible. Hey, Gary, it's okay. It's okay. Glad to see you, man. I was just showing guys how to, put in ballparks, and we were comparing this as a board game companion to Action PC Baseball. And I think Action PC Baseball has it a little better than this. I think this plays a great game of baseball as Payoff Pitch. And for me, buying it, I'm not going to use the board game companion for this at all. I have three other games that do it. One that uses syntax, two that don't. So for Pocket Pennant Run Baseball and Action PC Baseball, I don't need, and then add in Digital Diamond Baseball, I don't need a fourth board game companion. I really don't need it. So just about the transparency, yes, it is difficult to read, but I think it's easier for you on PC. It's easier, but so the Tigers right now, I mean, these should come up in white as we end the inning. But I would like to be able to have the choice, if not transparent, which it does look stylish, it looks nice, but it also, I would like to be able, since they've instituted that you can use ballpark photos now in the game, is if you can make just mess with the transparency, or if not that, just make it a solid color. Make it green. Make it baseball green and yellow, so that you have green and a yellow like the foul poles. Why not? All right, Willie Horton up to bat here, and let's go. Payoff pitch. Jim McAndrew appears in, has the sign from Jerry Grody, and here we go, the wind and the pitch. And this is going to be a ball in play, so swung on, and this is going to be a pop out to shortstop. So Bud Harrelson draws a beat on it and makes the grab as Willie Horton goes down. All right. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. Score tied. Mets 1, Tigers 1. would look so much better in the middle. I agree, and you can't move it. See, look, but down here I can move the autoplay. There I can, move. I can now this right, so I can move down here. Yeah, and see, look. So so you can see here with that transparency against a darker color. So this up here right now, a little bit harder to read, but if I go down here, yep, defense normal at bat, Willie Horton versus McAndrew, sack by check, not a valid auto sack, blah 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 blah. Real easy to read. Some of the other features I love about this is that you can actually look at how the AI is thinking and stuff like that. So I really, really like it. You can look for executed, evaluated, tactical pitcher lineup. Great touch. I think they've done such a wonderful, wonderful job on this. So let's just leave the autoplay over here. I know that when I buy the game, I'm going to be doing ballparks like this because I just, it adds so much to the game. Can you change the font, the color of the font in those boxes? So doesn't look like it. Let's go into game options, visuals. So we've just got, our, let's try with different themes. I don't think that's going to make a difference here. Nah. So, right, if I go to resume game, that's done nothing, right? It hasn't. So, and I don't like that green. That doesn't even look like green to me. So we're going to keep it on, what's the dirt theme look like? Nah. No, dark theme, dark theme. So show baseball field UI options. So why would you turn off the scoreboard? So these are, you can only turn these on or off, play by play descriptions. I don't know what runner's list is. Let's turn it on and we'll see what runner's list is. Okay, maybe we get a guy on and we find out. All right, Mickey Stanley here batting with 2 down, and here we go. McAndrew lets it go. This one is going to be tough. And this one's going to be a fly ball out to right field. All right, so Ron Swoboda makes the catch for the final out of the inning. End of the first. And the Mets and Tigers are tied up. Ron Swoboda leading things off here for the New York Mets here in the top of the second. This is 1969 Mets and Tigers. And I'm going to go over one more time how to do ballparks again in this. All right, so here's Swoboda against Denny McLain. And McLain, this is going to be a tough out. And this is going to be a strikeout. So, boom, there we go. There goes Swoboda. So it doesn't look like there's a way to change the colors of the fonts. Developer seems to be mostly connected to the community like never before. Yeah, this guy's great. This guy is absolutely great. And he's really, really wanting to concentrate on making this the best product possible. He's been fantastic. I don't know how he finds time to do everything that he's doing. As he's been super responsive to everybody. Everybody. You can of course look at all the play results here. I really like this a lot. And you can kind of get through all this kind of stuff and just, there we go. So we can see that Bud Harrelson struck out against Denny McLain. So this is a nice little, I think, sort of quality of life type thing that I like. Okay, top, bottom, top, second, da 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 da. Okay, let's close that. What happens? How does this game play if we turn off, if we disable the AI? Let's find out. Let's disable the AI managers. Okay, and we're going to disable AI pinch hitting. And let's see what else we want to do here. I want to get rid of anything that says AI. Right? So let's have this on manual steal and manual sack bunt. And I'm going to let it use fast action cards instead of charts. Okay, and let's see what we have here now. Screen wipes are nice when it goes from inning to inning. It's different from anything I've seen. So first saw that in Pure Sim Baseball. It was the first the first time I've ever seen a game do that is Pure Sim Baseball. But for modern baseball sims, yeah, that's really cool. The only game I think that does it that's still being made besides this one is MLB The Show. All right, so payoff pitch. So now we're playing this here with no AI. So this is if you're playing with yourself and going blind. All right, anyhow, this is a tough out. Catholics will get that joke, and it's a strikeout. Okay, there we go. Blows them away. Strikeout. I like the little things that they're doing there with the play-by-play. Here's Jim McAndrew. We got to get in a situation where we can go for a bunt. Okay, this one's going to be in play or a stolen base. That is going to be grounded back to Denny McLean. Um, and there we go, middle of the second inning. It's 1-1. Do up Don Wart, Tom Matchik, and boy, that went really, really fast. But that's okay. And Ron Woods, not Ronnie Woods of the Rolling Stones, though. All right. So let's get somebody aboard here, and let's use this as a board game companion. Just because I want to get I just want to get going to get Don Wirt on base, and let's say he's going to be on as a result of an error by the first baseman, and it's a one base error complete play. There, now we got Don Wirt on there. Okay, all right, now let's have Tom Matchik sack bunt. So all of this is opening up now because we're not using AI here. So we're gonna lay down the sacrifice bunt, and it looks like it was successful. So I guess we have to go back and we want to. What do we want to do here? Okay, because I get it now. Okay, because we're using a board game companion, it's just sack bunt, so it's going to be successful. That's what it looks like to me. Okay, let me see. All right. All right, let's steal third, and let's see if if this is going to be an automatic steal third. I'm guessing it is. Yep. So this is board game companion. All right. Nice is that if you use the board game companion, you don't really need the mouse to enter what happens. Everything is tied to a number. That is very true as well. Keyboard, yes. And so you can also set up shortcuts in this game too for things that you want to accomplish. And so let me show you that. Let's get out of this game. And yeah, let's get out of this game. Let's just cancel this one. Yes, I'm sure. Okay. Yeah, you can press space to fast forward through those annoying pop-ups or turn them off in this version. Which I don't mind the pop-ups myself, so I'm not going to turn them off. Other strengths of Pocket Pennant Run or of Payoff Pitch, Jesus, is I can go here and I can go to July 11th, 1969, and we can go to current day. We can sim games. I can just pick up a game from right here, and I can play this game right now between California and Oakland. And right, play ball. And again, I didn't do all the ballparks in here yet. So there we go. But you can see why using the on-field photos are going to be a lot nicer than using, I think this is fine for yeah, for Diamond Mine Baseball. But I think for this, I kind of like the way this looks. So let us just cancel this game and leave without saving. And yeah. This game renders Baseball Mogul totally forgotten, says Samuel Smith. It'll be the new benchmark for baseball sims. Can you put logos into the standing screens? That is a really good question. I don't think. Oh, you like the view with the 2D stadium? Let's look at a couple of them. So let's go to Cleveland. Wow, yeah, that's pretty meh stadium, huh? Let's go to something a little bit more interesting. Let's look at Fenway Park. So yeah, I mean it looks cool, and I've gotten used to that. And actually I know that you can superimpose real photo images into Diamond Mine Baseball, but I don't want to. That's Diamond Mine's kind of quirk and cool. And you get to see fence heights and distances and that. So it's cool, though. The 2D stadium is nice. But I prefer the real ball. I think this just, it purdies this game up like so nice, man. It really, really does. Even when you got old grainy old, grainy old photo, I just grabbed a random Memorial Stadium. All right. So one more time with ballparks. Once more time. So you play out of the park baseball with the 2D look. That's cool. That's cool. I like this. I've played it that way a few times, and it's interesting. It's really, really interesting. Okay, so just to go back over a few things, and again, I recommend Baseball Maelstrom's channel, and also Paul Fay's channel to get much, 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 much more in depth. Okay, you don't use the animations at all. Okay, and you know what, you got to play the game the way you love it, right? The way you want to play it. Let's look at our main settings menu and what do we have here. Okay, so if we start with gameplay, right, so we can turn off the board game companion if we want to. So it's going to remember your defaults. I'm going to go back to auto and auto for these. I don't use the charts. I like the FAC. I like everything moving left to right in this game a lot. You can change your game flow delay. 3 seconds is fine with me. Resume game. Okay, now let's say you're messing about with this thing, and you're noticing here you can't do anything. Remember, I'm using, and I'm sorry. Let me go to there, 1963. No, I can't do anything. Right? This is you can't edit the teams. So what I had to do in this is I had to create a new project, which was 1969. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to put in Fenway Park. But first, we're going to put in the Red Sox. And I do not believe you can actually put in logos in this yet, which sucks. But I'm guessing that's something that's going to come, but I will ask. So why is it not there at all? Probably Dana just hasn't gotten to it yet. They can't be included with the game because that would be a violation of Major League licensing, as you know. So how do games get around it? Action PC. If you've got the logos, it's the player that put them in, not the programmer. But they could get in a lot of trouble for that. So, and earlier versions of Out of the Park Baseball before Out of the Park Baseball got the Major League licensing. This is kind of what their logos look like. Baseball Mogul, older versions of that. So how he does without even with the logos, he's actually using some trademarked logos in Baseball Mogul, and is Major League Baseball really gonna take notice? Probably not, but I wouldn't chance it. I wouldn't chance it at all. Okay, so I have two windows up here. So in Game Pulse, and depending upon how this will be when it comes out, there's going to be subfolders. And so your ballparks are there, and each one has a little JSON file, and it also has the game. The ones that come with the game are PNG files, but you can use JPEGs. Thank God, because I saw that. I'm like, oh my God, I don't. So there's a JPEG of Camden Yards. Okay, so we're going to put in Fenway Park, and right now, if we look at Fenway Park, it's what I like to call the diamond mine look, which is nice, but I really don't want to do that. I don't want to do that at all. So let's come back up here, and let me go over here. This is my DK Sports directory. I'm going to find a Fenway Park, and we'll pick this Fenway Park because it's a little bit oblique and weird. Okay, and I'm going to copy it. All right, I'm going to go over here to ballparks. I can paste right into here, but I like to paste right in. I like to go up one level when I do this, but your mileage may vary. Now, if we go in to here and we look at Fenway, There's Fenway 2. All right, so this is the park now that we're going to set up. Okay, so let's minimize this. Boston Red Sox, and stadium image is going to be Fenway 2, and there it is, and edit positions, and oops, I forgot, this was my mess up, shit. So there is a little weird thing in this game that I've reported, because I wasn't working in the ballpark position editor. I was working in the team editor. So right now this doesn't work from here. So, and notice, look, the game's frozen. No big deal. We're going to close it and open it again. All right. Am I sure I want to exit? Yeah, because it's not crashed. It's just this is frozen. Okay. Let's bring it back up again really, really quickly. So when you're working with ballparks, you got to go up here to ballpark position editors, and we're going to pick Fenway 2. So you have to work in this editor. Don't work in the team editor, or it's going to freeze. Hopefully they'll fix that, because when I was watching some videos, and a lot of guys were just not. They were saving the ballpark thing till like later on. It's like, no, I think this is super cool. You got to do this now. Okay, so again, it's pretty quick. My way of doing it is blue's the easiest to see, which actually that's the shortest wavelengths. Actually, it's warm colors are easier for us to see. Don't know if you guys ever knew that before. But that's an actual fact, baby. It's an actual fact. It's an actual fact. Nobody cares. But there we go. Let's just go ahead and use our little Red Soxies, or whoever that team is out there. Okay, get our pitcher there. Put our catcher there. And there's our lefty batter. There's our righty batter. And there's our left-handed batter. Let's just put him out there. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to me. And there's our lefty batter. And there's home plate. So you get all these fun little balloons there. Isn't that cool? And there's our center fielder. And there's our right fielder. And save. Boop. And those positions are saved. Now I can go into, let's say if I just went in and front loaded a whole bunch of ballparks, I would just do that. Just don't make the mistake that I made and work within the team editor. And that's easy. That's an easy trap. So let's go ahead and just save these again. Let's close this. Because it seems to me that if you're going in here and you're selecting that stadium, all right, so Fenway Park, and there's Fenway 2. At this point, just click Save. When you edit positions, that is right, and it's even saying right here, edit field marker positions for this ballpark image. If you do that, you will get the freeze that I got. So just click Save. But this is ready to go. It's ready to go. And to show you, let's just do an exhibition game. And Bernie's saying, but the 1969 Red Sox weren't that good. Well, you know, that's okay. You're right, though. I would like to see this kind of in alphabetical order, or they're just sort of here willy-nilly. That's fine. Okay. For now, Cubs, Red Sox. Cubs, Red Sox. While they're still suffering under their respective miseries and stuff like that. No DH. We don't need no stinking DH. Again, I'm just going to generate, and let's play ball. All right, Kessinger, Santo, and Williams, and welcome to Fenway Park. Doesn't that look pretty? Again, your mileage may vary, but I like this look. I really, really, really like this look. And because you have that kind of sort of, it's not 3D, but it looks 3D, right? I mean, because the photo is, you know, your eye's tricked, of course, by any photo. None of them are three-dimensional. And since there's no ball animation, you don't really have to worry about, you know, the fence heights or anything like that, because the play result comes from the cards. So this is window dressing. For me, it adds a lot of immersion. But again, for you know, for guys that like that top-down view, that's cool too. Looks nice. Yeah, it's super easy to do. Just don't make the mistake I did. Because when I did that on the team editor, I'm like, damn it. And I'm typing in there, wait a minute, maybe I don't understand the thing. And I'm looking through it again. And I'm like, little ballpark thing up there. So they either need to get rid of that button or they need to make that functional so that you can switch. But yeah, it's super easy. And you notice I didn't have to exit the game for any changes. I didn't have to exit out the game. It just found this Fenway 2, and by cracky, it looks fine, doesn't it? All right, so Stanage to Kessinger. This is going to be patient, and it's going to result. Kessinger's going to draw the walk. So runner on. Funny looking Cubs color there. I don't know if the Meeple colors are customizable or not. That would be something quality of life down the line I like to see. I really like this to be Cubs blue, not sort of whatever that color is wanting to be. But that's fine. Here's Ron Santo. All right, Ron Santo. Here we go. And this is going to be tough. So for Santo, let's see. Santo, well, yeah. Let's see what he does here. So 69 is going to be ground ball to second base. And now we're going to check on the play as it's going to happen in second base. And for double play check, and there is no double play. And it's just a fielder's choice. Okay. So this game is so easy to play. So easy to play. And no matter how good a game looks, if the flow sucks, forget it. Here's Billy Williams. And we never like when Aunt Flo comes to visit. So it's a hit and run foul ball. This is they're going to roll the 2d6 on the hit and run to the outfield. And this is it. So what do we got here? Doubles and a runner out, returning to first. Okay, so is that what we got going on here? Let's see. The runner's safe, so he is not doubled off. And no doubles or anything like that. Okay, Billy Williams sends a fly ball to center. Joe LaHood makes the catch for the out. So 2 down. Now you can see here against this, with this particular ballpark image, this is a lot easier to see, right? Okay, here's great Ernie Banks. And Banks, this one is going to be tough. This is going to be a 21, and Ernie Banks whiffs. Strike out. Okay. And middle of the first, Andrews, Yastrzemski, and Petrocelli due up for the Red Sox. All right, here's the pitch. Ken Holtzman peers in, has the sign from Randy Huntley. And tough. And fly ball out to left field by Mike Andrews. Billy Williams settles under it, makes the grab, 1 down. As a content creator, I like it. This game is really easy to call. But just a smart decision. You can't miss. It's going to highlight what you have to do next. There's no guesswork at all in this game. Boom, pitch a roll, and play. Great job, Dana, by again having all these visual indicators, because I don't want to be bogged down. I don't want to be looking through cards and stuff. I'm playing baseball now, right? That's my sort of gestalt, if you will. Base hit for Yaz. All right, so Yastrzemski is on board, and here's Rico Petrocelli, and here's the pitch to Rico. Okay, so they're checking for a sac bunt, and no bunt, so ball, not in range 12. And you're not going to have him sack bunt. Come on, give me a break anyhow. This one is going to be in play, and he's going to pop out the second. Glenn Beckert has it. So, yeah. Would be cool to see the uniform on them. Yeah. Pocket Pennant Run has them, the little meeples. So that would be cool. But Dave Gardner made a good observation. He's saying that he was just a bit concerned that so much work has gone into the AI that he wants to make sure that the core game, the core experience of payoff pitch baseball, because when you play this, you don't have an AI when you're playing this in cards and dice. He wants that to be here, to be solid, and I get that. I think it's a pretty good AI. There are still some tweaks. AI is always a hard thing to do. Some AIs even cheat. Civilization games. I'm looking at you. Gandhi will always nuke you, man. He's not peaceful. Anyhow, here is Holtzman. dealing to Reggie Smith, and this is going to be a wheelhouse for Reggie Smith. So pretty good stuff there. Let's see what he gets. And Reggie Smith opened the window, Aunt Minnie. And this is a two-run shot by Reggie Smith and drives it out of the park. I want to know what part of the park it went out. Oh, there it is. So there we go. Went out to right field. Okay, nice. HR9. You saw that. Wow. So 2-0 for Bernie's Red Sox. And here's Tony C. I'm presuming Bernie's going to be getting this game. Okay, so this is going to be patient. And he draws the walk. So Holt's been getting roughed up a little bit here as George the Boomer Scott in there. I love doing that. Sorry. Uh-oh, this is going to be tough. This is going to be a tough for the Boomer man. Let's see what he gets. What happens here? Grounds this one to short. Don Kessinger has it. End of the inning, and Red Sox lead 2-0. All right, Hundley, Beckert, and Young due up. Yeah, so distance of homer would also be cool. Yep. I think there's just, it's going to be great to see this game get to the point where, you do have those nice little cosmetic touches and those nice little things. So Bernie, I know you're just as, you're spending time with your family. I hope we get a chance to talk on stream about just the recent spate of baseball games that we've gotten, but I'd really love to get your thoughts on this one. Because for some reason, PC Replay never clicked with me. And I know, guys, it's a really, really good game. Use a little animation running around the bases. But this game, is it because of just how the core game works? You guys help me out here because you guys, most of you are more cards and dice guys. I'm a digital player. So, but for me, this is like, wow, this whole thing made sense. PC Replay just didn't work for me. But I'm super impressed with this thing, super impressed, and yeah, I'm really excited for its release. Even though it ain't going to be cheap, but maybe it will teach me restraint. It's like, all right, stick with the season. Don't go with 97,000 different projects in this. This has a draft mode in it, which I haven't even showed you yet. So you can, so creating projects and stuff like that is kind of really, really cool. We're not going to go through it, and I know everybody wants to see a game, but we're just going to cancel this for right now because lots of work to do. I'm going to be sad when the real things comes out because I'm not going to be able to play with all these seasons anymore. Oh well, it is what it is. So let's go to a new project. This is close to Cards and Dice you've seen in a PC game. That is high praise indeed. Okay, so what you can do when you can choose sets that you already have that you've bought. So let's just say, let's call this what is today's date? 29. So let's call this test 329. Okay, and we're not going to do historical replay mode or anything like that. So let's mix in 1921, 1948, and 1987. Isn't that good? No, 1975. That's going to be kind of fun. Those three. And now we got 2,338 players. And so there we go. Now you can also select from all, from any or all teams that you want. And I'm going to select all of them. Why not? Why not? Live right. Just go big or go home. Include all ballparks from select. I want the ballpark cards from all the sets. We're going all in, baby. All right, all players are going to be free agents. Dynasty League Baseball plays exactly like Cards and Dice. I've heard that, NB. The thing is right now, and welcome into the family, I can't afford to be subscribing to Strat and that at the same time. So, but I got, don't worry about the typo. I read it as Cards and Dice, so all good. That's a nice game. All right, let me see. What else? What are we doing here? We can set up a league structure. God only knows what I'm doing here with this league structure. So let's just call one, national, right? And we can add another, right? So right here we can call this American. we can do two. We can keep adding leagues to this as we want, but we can also add divisions for each one. So east, west, north, south, Kate Beckinsale and Shakira, whatever you want. Okay. Let's go ahead and click next and team assignments. And so, boy, I know it's crazy, it's crazy, it's crazy, it's crazy. But we have 57 teams in here to draft from. So check teams for bulk operations. So let's pick up all the American League teams. I wasn't thinking I shouldn't have picked all these teams. I'm sorry. But what else are we going to do? Well, I guess there's plenty we can do. Isn't it time for the first mow of the grass of the year or some madness like that? Negro Leagues didn't make it into this one. I'm sorry. I forgot I should have made the Negro Leagues, but there's not really enough. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Note to self, next time I demo this, just pick 2 sets. Don't go crazy like this. Because 30 teams in a league, good Lord. But let's see if the game can do it. Can the game do it? You have to use one of the teams being drafted from, or can you create your own? Well, I don't know. This is my first time trying to draft. So you probably make more money than I do, brother. I work at FedEx, and FedEx doesn't pay as much as you think it does. It pays well, but not wellish enough. And besides that, man, I've got, I got a lot of other vocations, avocations, and I just can't really kind of afford. But at some point I will. At some point I will, because I know a lot of guys play it. They say it's really easy to get into. But I got a billion baseball games already, and I'm trying to learn from Bernie to try to rein in my addiction, but I can't. I can't. Hi, my name is Beatles. Hi, Beatles. I'm a baseball sim junkie. Yes, Beatles. So I don't know. I'd have to try. What is it they do in AA? They have you have a sponsor. So I'm gonna have Bernie be my he's gonna be my sponsor. Okay. Let's go back to I don't know if we have to go back to the top of the list, but we're gonna see. It says bulk operations. Oh, did I forget to create an American League? Well, what the hell, man? Did I do that? Let's go back to league structure. Yes, I did. Okay. So American, right? Boop. There we go. All right. So national and American. There we go. And oh, for fuck's sake, let's just pick a couple of them here. I'm not going to pick them all again. So New York, Boston, Cleveland, and St. Louis. There they go. They're in the American League. Pretty cool. And we can there's more. So let's pick some National League teams. 1, 2, 3, and just pick one from 1948. 4, and I should be able to just do this from right here. National. Okay, so one is showing national. There, you can see there's, yeah. So it's working. It's working fine, baby. Look at that. Pretty nice. I don't know that the bulk team operation thing is actually working the way I would want it to. I thought it was supposed to do that. So I should have had 4 American League teams there. But it looks like I didn't. That's okay. Now they're in their American League. So, and then it's going to draft. But I picked too many teams. So yeah. So can't do it yet. But you guys are smart. And the thing is this is so super intuitive. So that's it. Hervé Villachez. Tattoo was a baseball game junkie and had every baseball board game and video game ever made. Wow. He had to build a special warehouse for all of it. I never knew that. That's really cool. NB, what do you think of Strat Max? I love it. I think Strat Max is phenomenal. What do you think of it? Do you like it? Any thoughts? So, how many guys now? I know, I'm not here to change minds, but given the price of the game, $49.95, and the price of the seasons, how many of you are still going to be in on Payoff Pitch? I know I am. I'm going to do it. I am going to definitely buy it. I love the way it plays. Anybody else? Anybody else? I know Bernie said he's going to. As a board game companion, it's nice, but I think Pocket Pennant Run and Action PC do it better right now, at least. And it's still being worked on both of those games too. And because in fact, in this new one, what does Legends and Bust look like? Let's look at them. So let's pick 1920s. Can I pick 1920s? Can't pick 1920s. Oh, so I have to create a new project. So we can create a new project and look at them if you want. So you love Strat and you like Max. It could use some bells and whistles like sound. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Now, NB, do you play also the Strat PC game, or do you play Strat cards and dice, and like maybe use Strat PC for entry, or don't you play Strat PC at all? So there's a reason I'm asking about, and it's not a trick question. I'm just curious because Strat has a ton of projects. There's 365 and Strat Max and da 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 da. So that's how they do these set. They have it set into teams. Yeah. So what we could do is let's just play a game. Let's play a game. We don't even have to set up a league. Let's play a league. All right. Exhibition game. Blah blah blah. All right. So let's play the 1980s National League as the home team, and let's play the 1970s American League as a visiting team, and let's play it in. Oh, so interesting here. You can't use your ballparks here until you set up a project. Now, if I set this up as a project, then I could bring in those nice photos. But right now, you're not going to have them. Let's play it at. This is National League. We're not going to play it at Connie Mack Stadium. Well, I'm not really a fan of these, so we'll play to Forbes Field, which I do love. Okay, no DH, no stinking DH. Continue, generate, and generate. So for the 1970s American League, we got Lyman Bostock, Bergkamp and Anderson, George Brett, Jim Rice, Rod Carew, Carlton Fisk, Thurman Munson, Roy Smalley, and Luis Tiant will be pitching today. For the National League, Vince Coleman, Ryan Sandberg, and Tony Gwynn, Bob Horner, Andre Dawson, Gary Carter, Ozzie Smith, Bob Boone, and Dennis Martinez. Boy, what a good lineup! What a good matchup is this? Okay, so you play just about everything cards and dice. Only had one version of the PC game. Okay. Samuel Smith already loaded up your Steam account with funds in preparation for Payoff. NASA agreed to put you in cryogenic deep freeze until release day. Brilliant. Oh, Rabbit, did you want to do 20s versus 60s? Easy. Let's go back. We'll do 20s versus 60s. That's fine. So let's do the 1920s and the 1960s. All right. So since you named the 1920s as first, they'll be the visiting team. And the 1960s will be the home team. Okay. And again, we're going to play this in Forbes Field. We'll play it in Connie Mack. No DH rule. Continue. I'm just going to generate lineups because can't be arsed. Oh, man. Okay, this is pretty good. So we got... now remember, this is just volume 1 and what have you. We go to edit here. Let me see. No. All positions. Let me see. What do we have any? Okay, let's just... All right, so there. I was wondering where the hell are Babe Ruth and Paul Wainer? So they're not active. That's all. So, cool. Okay. Nice. I got worried because you can't... I mean, what are you going to do? You can't have these... right? You can't have the 1920s without... Let me make my taskbar go away. You can't have them without Babe Ruth. Good God. All right. Yeah. All right. Taskbar behaviors and automatically hide. Boink. There we go. Okay. Nice. And it went back again. How the hell do we get out of here? There we go. Accept. Nice. Remove inactive players. What? Wait a minute. Remove inactive players. Gabby Hartnett. Blah blah blah. No, I don't want to do that. So I don't know what this thing is. What's it yelling at me about? Hang on. I found something in here that's... I don't know why it's having me do that. Can I just cancel this? I think I can just cancel that. Yep, there we go. Okay, good, good, good. Team colors 1920s in red, 1960s. 1960s, man, they see, there's Cubs blue. Let's put them in Cubs blue. All right. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Top of the first. Okay. And here we are. Boy, now I like the ballpark photos better. I'm going to set this up just to put in ballpark photos. So you have volume 1 and 2 in cards. Okay. All right. So Rogers Hornsby leading off. Milt Pappas. Let's look at the starting defense here for the 1960s. In left field, Lou Brock. In center, Vada Pinson. In the right, Roberto Clemente. At first base, Ernie Banks at second. Hank Aaron at short, Rico Petrocelli. And at third, Brooks Robinson. Behind the plate, Joe Torre. And on the mound, Milt Pappas. Leading off is the Raja, Rogers Hornsby. And here we go. Here we go. Play a couple innings of this one. This one put in play by the Raja, and base hit. Hornsby with the base hit, and he is on board. Singles into the gap. And here's one of my favorite players of all time, George Sisler. All right, first checking for the steal jump. All right, so Hornsby fails, doesn't get a good jump. All right, and we just continue. And sacrifice bunt, no sacrifice bunt. Here comes the pitcher roll, and this one is going to be tough. And for Sisler, this is going to be a grounder to first. And we're going to check on the ground ball to see what happens on this. And double play check. And there's no double play. All right, so they catch Hornsby, the lead runner. So Sisler aboard, brings up Babe Herman now. Okay, failed check. Did not, yeah. And that clicks off of there, so in case you wanted to try like a hit and run play or whatever, by the way, that's why that goes away. Okay, let's do our pitcher roll on that 2D6. This is going to be in play by Babe Herman, and this one grounder to third. And again, we're going to check that ground out to see whether we get any double play. And no double play, so this is a fielder's choice. 2 away here for Gabby Hartnett, who hit that homer in the Gloaming against the Pirates in 1938. And steal jump is not successful. We're not going to get hit and run, obviously, with 2 out or anything like that. So let's go for the pitcher roll. This one in play. And now we use our fast action card for a single base runner advance. And this is a single. And there we go, Gabby Hartnett. Babe Herman taking an extra base. So runners at the corners now for Heine Manush, late of the Cincinnati Reds. Okay, steal check fails. And here's the batter roll. This one in play and just popped a short. Rico Petrocelli has it, and that is out number 3. So we go to the bottom of the first. We are scoreless. Roberto Clemente, Lou Brock, Hank Aaron due up. So Rabbit says he likes the FAC there. That's how you play cards and dice. Yeah, I prefer it that way. I haven't tried with the charts on this thing. I like having that fast action card just right there. And I'm a big fan of fast action cards anyhow. My favorite cards and dice game is Status Pro Baseball, actually. All right, Walter Johnson. Good Lord. All right, Walter Johnson. Let's look at this starting defense. In left field, Heine Manush. In center, Sam Rice. And right, Babe Herman. At first base, George Sisler. Second, Frankie Frisch. At short, Rabbit Moranville. And this is 1920s, so not Hannes Wagner time yet. Or past Hannes Wagner time, and we're not quite at Archie Vaughan yet. Rogers Hornsby at third. So pretty tough infield here because you could play Hornsby all over the place. You could play Frisch. Moranville in there, of course, for his defense. All right, behind the plate, Gabby Hartnett. And on the mound, the big train leading off, Roberto Clemente. Love Status Pro, just bought 2025 and 1961 seasons last month on eBay. Man, the hours, days, and months I put in that game. Loved it. Still do. That's why I'm so excited about Digital Diamond Baseball, that it's going to be apparently Status Pro Advanced fully implemented this year. We'll see. We will see. All right, so this is going to be a park lookup here. And on the ballpark, this one is going to be in play. So batter's card, grounder to third. Hornsby up with it across to Sisler for the 5-3 put out. Here's Lou Brock. And the 1920s are going to want to keep this guy off. Putting Walter Johnson, let me cancel this. So this is not a problem with the game, but Walter Johnson really shouldn't be on a 1920s squad. Johnson pitched in his one and only World Series in 1924. Johnson was really, he's at the end of his career. If they ever do this legends and busts, you really this is a dead ball player, really is. I mean, Johnson was great in the live ball era. There's no doubt, arguably the greatest pitcher all over baseball history. But the big train doesn't really belong on a 1920s squad. He's out of his era. So there's a lot of other 1920s pitchers that should be in this set, but not the big train. Put him back in the dead ball era where he belongs. All right. Sorry about that. Just me being just a little bit nitpicky, I guess. And this is going to be a fly ball out to right field, and Babe Herman has it measured up and makes the grab. 2 up, 2 down here for the 1960s and brings up the hammer. All right, Aaron settles in the box. And here's the wind by Walter Johnson. And here we go. We're going to determine a fielding outcome right here. So this is a defense check. And what do we got here? So this is an error on the second baseman. We're going to check for an error. And what do we got? This one is out. So we're going to determine the final result of the play. And this is a ground out to second base. Okay. Routine play out at first. End of the first, no score. 1920s just leading in hits right now. The Florida Flash, Sam Rice, and the Rabbit do up. Frankie Frisch settles in the box. Here's the pitch from Milt Pappas. And this will be a ballpark check. And this one in play. And grounded back to Milt Pappas, who fires on to Ernie Banks for the 1-3 put out. All right, former Washington Senator and Hall of Famer Sam Rice in the box. And the pitch to Sam Rice. And this is going to be in play. Ground ball to second base. Hank Aaron on to Ernie Banks. 2 up, 2 down for the 1920s. Here's the light-hitting Rabbit Moranville. Superb defensive shortstop, though. And here's the pitch to Moranville. This is going to be tough. And look at Moranville. The light-hitting Moranville picks up the third hit for the 1920s. 9. How about that? So Moranville aboard. And, all right, now we got the pitcher up. Now, they haven't changed this. I don't know what's going to happen here. So, Rabbit Wolverine says the Status Pro is what got him into the hobby in the early 80s. Status Pro is such a fun game. Jeez. And I don't have it right now. I left it in Europe. Every pitcher card is rated a Steel 3C. And there was a game that we played on Beta 1 about 3 weeks ago, and Rick Russell stole a base. Big Daddy stole a base. And so I asked this in the chat, and Dana said that they pretty much have left that in there, but they were going to build in something as far as a recheck on a steal or something like that. So I really, really would like to see hitting cards the way that Strat does it, because there were some pitchers that could steal bases. Some guy named Babe Ruth could steal bases. But Walter Johnson, perhaps not a great base stealer, but here's the other thing. You have kind of this generic pitcher hitting card. I think pitchers need work in this game. Walter Johnson was a good hitting pitcher. He really, really was. And how are you going to handle pitchers, say like Herb Score? How are you going to handle pitchers like Smokey Joe Wood, who became phenomenal hitters? And if you're playing Smokey Joe Wood in a game, Smokey Joe Wood is going to have this card that every other pitcher has. And so I don't, I'm not fond of the pitcher hitting cards in this game at all. I have to say that. Looking forward to doing payout pitch games on YouTube when it comes out. More fun to record and broadcast the games than to just play. So, man, what your because the way YouTube does it, you're coming up here as NB. So, bet he has two cards. Who are you talking about, Bernie? Do you mean like Smokey Joe? Yeah, 16 different pitcher hitting cards, Rabid. But what I found out was the steal rating was the same on all the cards, and that was back in beta one. Don't know if they've changed that, but even still, there's no stats on here. And I know that's a lot of work because now you're talking about lots of pictures and putting in those stats. But again, you got to think about Smokey Joe Wood and guys like Herb Score, Bob Lemon. Well, Bob Lemon actually, and Babe Ruth. There's no dead ball seasons in this game right now, but if you're playing the 1918 Boston Red Sox, when Ruth wasn't pitching, he was playing the outfield. So does Ruth, when he's pitching in that game, does Ruth get just a pitcher card? I don't know. So Smokey Joe Wood does have two cards. You, so are they so for the better hitting pitchers? I guess I'm wondering in payoff pitch, since Bernie, you have the board game. I'm assuming. So they create hitting cards for these guys when they're pitching. Smokey Joe Wood had that great season in 1912. Slid hurt his pitching hand and reinvented himself into a very good position player. And I would hate for Smokey Joe to, I don't know, just kind of my thing. I know it's a lot of extra expense, but I'm just wondering how they're going to handle it. And they've got to change the steal ratings because Dana did tell me, at least for Beta 1, the steal ratings were 3C for all pitchers. And Bernie, we talk a lot about believability, and it's really hard for me to believe, just seeing Rick Russell on the Pirates, that Rick Russell's going to steal a base. Maybe he did once or twice in his career. I don't know. But then I put in another pitcher, and he was a 3C, and I put in a third pitcher, and he was a 3C for jump and steal. So you're just assuming those two-way players will have two cards. But it's not just the two-way players. So when we're playing back in a time before DH, you had good hitting pitchers. Bob Gibson was a pretty decent hitting pitcher, too. Don Drysdale. So, but maybe for those guys, because they weren't great hitters, then these pitcher cards will work, and that's fine, but it's the steal thing. And if I see, a pitcher who clearly was not a base stealer, stealing a base, it's going to raise an eyebrow. And in fact, it did in the entire chat. They're like, what? Wait, Russell stole a base? Yeah. So that's kind of like Rafael Belliard hitting a ton of home runs. I'd listened to the game where he hit I know it was his first home run off me. His memory to be Eternal Eric Shaw. I don't know if that was his Belliard's only home run, but I think he has very few in his entire career. Okay, steal jump or steal check fails. Pitcher roll, ballpark. And ballpark says wheelhouse. So in the batter's wheelhouse, this is going to be fly ball into left. Blue Brock has it. So NB says PC sports cards and dice games. All right, so that's the. Do you do max? DLB, PC replay, inside pitch advance, plus cards and dice physical games. Subscribe to the channel, guys. It's right there. NB, you have to come in here a few times to get a shield. So, but if you want to just, guys, I guess it's youtube.com and then / go to NB 12668 and subscribe to that channel. Earl Wilson in the 1960s renewed two cards. Rabble Warver says, it's funny, I noticed the pitchers had that rating on every card. When I use pitchers hitting, I never roll for pitcher steals. I didn't either. This was the AI manager that was playing against me. And I'm just like playing, and all of a sudden there's Rick Russell steals second. I'm like, what the hell just happened there? All right, Walter Johnson. And again, Walter Johnson shouldn't be here. Just really, really shouldn't be here. Maybe because Dead Ball is a little bit different. I don't know. The Pocket Pennant Run has Dead Ball Baseball in it, so I hope Dead Ball is going to be coming into this game. I really do. If it's not already. Maybe it's available. Bernie, are there dead ball seasons in the physical game of Payoff Pitch, or anybody that plays Payoff Pitch physical? Are there any dead ball seasons in this game at all? Poor old dead ball gets forgotten, and it's like the most exciting baseball, I think. All right, Johnson to deal to Ernie Banks. Tough. Grounder to second. Fresh up with it on to gorgeous George Sisler. One up, one down, and Joe Torre making his first plate appearance of the day. And this one, an in-play result. And that's going to be fly ball out to right field. And Babe Herman will have it for the out. So Joe Torre sits down for the second out of the inning. So it starts in the 1920s. Rapid software. It's a funny visual of Rick Russell stealing. Yes, exactly. All right, we are Vada Pinson now. 287 average for him. And here we go. The big train deals. And this one in play. And this one popped to second. Frankie Frisch has it. And that will be the third out of the inning. Hornsby, Sisler, and Herman do up here in the top of the third inning. 1920s versus the 1960s. Yeah, so this in here at 2 on the this beta that we're testing is 1921. So I know you don't want to leave guys out like Walter Johnson and Christy Mathewson, but it's just weird to see Walter Johnson in the 1920s. Great as he was, I mean the guy started in the majors, around the same time as Ty Cobb, and you guys all know that story about Cobb facing Walter Johnson for the first time, and it gave him the heebie-jeebies. They do have 1899 and 1889. So that's kind of interesting. So they've got a couple 19th century seasons in here, which you don't see a lot in baseball games. But the dead ball era, right, is just I hope they do the dead ball era. Not that it's going to be a deal breaker for me. I've got plenty of other games where I can play dead ball baseball, but I just love it. Play dead ball baseball, but I know as many 70. If they put out the entire 1970s, that's my second favorite period of baseball. Definitely be doing 1970s. So yeah, 1899. Okay, no worries. All right, and Milt Pappas ready to go here against the Raja. All right, in play. And fly ball to right field. The great one backs up about 3 paces and makes the grab. Hornsby got under it a little bit too much. Here's Sisler now. And the pitch to the great George Sisler. And in play, grounds it to short. Up with it, Petrocelli on to Banks. 2 up, 2 down here for the 1920s in the top of the third inning for Babe Herman. And here is the pitch. In play, Herman swings, and this one is going to be going all the way out there deep, rips it into the gap. So Herman aboard, and it brings up Gabby Hartnett now. And no, so fail on the steal, and that's fine. And let's roll for off the pitcher. Ballpark. Ballpark says in play, batter, grounds to second. Let's see, we're going to, okay, and grounder to second, and that is the third out of the inning. Petrocelli, Robinson, and Pappas due up here. Walter Johnson keeping it buttoned down tight here. Off to watch Red Sox. Reds have a great day. Thanks, Bernie, for coming in. Yeah, we're not going to do this whole 9-inning game. Everybody's got to be off watching some real baseball right now. So, there we go. I don't want to hold you guys up anymore. I don't even know what time it is right now. So, there we go. Oh my goodness gracious, 1:30. All right. So, that is it, guys. We're going to go ahead and go to game options, and we're going to go ahead and cancel out of this one. And yes. So Oh, you are very, very welcome, Rabbit Wolverine. If this game were to release today, I would buy it. I would buy it. That's kind of my verdict on it. I would buy it. I love the fact again that we can use real ballpark photos, and all that kind of cool stuff. So, yeah, what's that, Rabbit Wolverine? What would you like to see? It doesn't matter if it's cool. I'm not in a hurry. I know if Bernie's off to watch some baseball, I'm guessing the rest of you guys want to. You don't need to. You've heard me rabbit on all winter. So, what would you like to see, buddy? And if I know how to do it, I'll show you. Is there a way to do a project using L&B and have real teams? So, do you? If you don't mind typing a bit longer, I'm not really clear because you can make a project out of anything that you have here. So Yankees, Cardinals, with drafting the players. I would assume I haven't looked at all these rosters, but I guess how big is the player pool large enough is what we would have to see. So there's 87 players as free agents. I don't know that you would have enough to do it. I haven't I haven't looked at that. So if you wanted to actually do actual Yankees, actual Cardinals, so on and so forth, it doesn't seem to me that there's enough players here to do it. If we look here, let's forget the free agents right now. Let's pretend everything is 30 players. We've got 12 times 30. It's 330 players is not going to be enough to do it. Right, yeah, it doesn't look like there's going to be enough there to do it. Even if you just wanted to do the original 16, it doesn't look like it. Because looking just, I'm not going to play a game, I promise you guys. We're just going to do an exhibition. And let's look at, so like for the 1990s and the 2000s AL, that's fine. So we don't have to use active roster, generate, whatever. And if we're looking at all these teams where these guys are from, there's Red Sox, there's Guardian, Indian, whatever you prefer. So not enough. But I'm guessing with both volumes. So you think it could probably do 12, maybe. That's a pretty small. Now, if we add in those whoever's in the free agents, we could look at these free agents really quickly because I'm kind of curious to see what's on there too. So let's make the home team. No, these are just free agents that can be drafted, so they're not even a team. Okay, never mind. No, on their actual teams are draft under. I haven't tried it yet. I'll have to try that and get back to you. Maybe I'll get back to you on either a tonight broadcast or a tomorrow broadcast and let you know. No games, no stats. Kind of. I like any game. Any game that has sortable stats is an amazing thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this today again. For more in-depth look at Payoff Pitch, Baseball Maelstrom's done some great stuff. So is Dave Gardner. Got to give Dave Gardner some love. Oh, another new addition. I forgot to tell you guys about this, didn't I? So you can pin and unpin and show what kind of like manage pin stats. So you can look at you can have different types of reports that you can show up here. As you're going through seasons. So look, there's a lot of dead ballers here. Addie Joss died in 1911. So I guess they're just going to take some license here to get some dead ball players in there. There's Smokey Joe. So there's his batter card. And let me see. So, and it's showing his pitching stats too. So There's Three Finger Brown, dead baller. Rube Waddell, dead baller. Mathewson, dead baller. Cy Young, 19th Century and dead ball. Walter Johnson. So so all these guys down here, the only two on this Legends and Busts, Juan Pena and Brad Kilby. But everybody else, these are all dead ball pitchers on the Legends and Busts stuff here. So I hopefully as they keep releasing, they will release seasons and stuff like that. That this will become a lot of a Sandbox thing, which I think will be really really cool. You could play a small league right now too. This is nice. Thank you, Joe Bryant, for this, and everybody involved in Payoff Pitch for having giving us a Negro League set to play with. Pretty cool here. So it'd be fun to play them against a Legends and Bust squad, the Negro Leagues. Maybe we can do that. There's great Buck Leonard. All these guys they've picked. These are the best of the best. And there's the best of all of them, probably Oscar Charleston. There's Josh. Josh given a 100. Wow. That's really something. There's Heavy Johnson. This is fun. Turkey Stearns. So maybe we might even just do a Negro League game tonight. Yeah, these are great. So there may be an early release this week. You mean release as an actual buy it? Okay. So quick poll before everybody goes here. For those of you that are going to be buying it, not on Steam but through Sideline, what season are you going to pick from the ones that are available? I think I'm going to pick probably 1975. And then if Legends Bus, my understanding is Legends and Bus will be bundled into it. So I'm going to pick 1975, Legends and Bust, and then I will buy Negro League All-Stars. If that's going to be that'll be my initial purchase with this game. What about you guys? Because the only thing I would do in the 2025 season is replay the World Series, and I can replay that in a ton of other baseball games. So Rabbit Wolverine says if he buys the game, he would pick up 1985 because you have that one in cards. Okay, that's cool. Cool. 1985, dark years for my Pittsburgh Pirates. So dark season. 1986, not much better. But boy, this is. I wonder if Martin Diego is in here. Where are the pitchers? Got to see. So Martin has to be in here. I don't see him, but I hope he is. I would have to make this into a little project and see if he's on here. So saves. So here's how you can add all that in. By the way, shutouts, complete games. All right. This is new. This is very, very, very new. There's our home run leaders. So I'm not seeing Martin Diego, but I'm hoping he's in there somewhere. It's one of the greats. Cristobal Torriente should be in here somewhere as well. Rabbit Wolverine says, from what I've seen, I really don't think I'm buying the game. The cost of season is just going to keep me away. It is expensive. And at first I was like, I'm not. Martin is in that set. Good. He should be. So should Torriente. Because the hitting, and again, I'm not seeing all the complete rosters and everything, but obviously we're seeing all the usual suspects, and great majority of these guys are Hall of Famers anyhow. I'm wondering how Charleston rates only a 98. Unless the game favors home runs. Not knocking Josh Gibson, but if you're going to give Josh Gibson a 100, I think you got to give Trump. That's nitpicking. Still, he's an elite player, but I wonder how they card these up where Josh is a 100. And see, where's Buck Leonard? So Buck Leonard is a 96, yep. But Josh is a 100, man. Nice stuff. Cristobal Torriente. Okay, you don't know if he's in there. Well, I'm glad Martin Diego is in there. The guy was a beast. on both sides of the equation too. Hell of a pitcher, hell of a hitter. Okay, so guys, again, Baseball Maelstrom, Dave Gardner, Big Rev Kev, also doing a lot of videos on Payoff Pitch, and of course, Payoff Pitch, the official. Dana doing his update streams and stuff like that. So search them out on the YouTubes. And I'm going to continue adding ballparks to 1969 and having fun. Dana's threatening a beta 4 here, maybe sometime like around tomorrow or Tuesday. So it'll be fun to see what gets added into this. So maybe I shouldn't go too crazy about assigning ballpark picks yet. So, all right, that is all for me for right now. I'm going to thank you guys. Yep. Yeah, I'll be back on tonight, definitely. Rather Wolverine. Don't know what time, but I will be back on. And in the meantime, everybody, thank you for your input. Thank you for your thoughts. And family, we'll see you around the batting cage. Good afternoon.